Parts everywhere. Okay, so we're removing the slide. Alright, slide, trigger frame. The first thing we're going to go over are the key points on the trigger frame. Okay, so now that we have the trigger frame, the key points that need attention, and they're actually easy to see because the anodizing is being removed. So that means it's grinding. That's wear and tear. That's what's going to build up and eventually get between your trigger frame and your slide and cause it to start to wobble and have all other sorts of headaches. Besides the fact is, you know, it's better to keep things clean. So, as you can see, yuck. Can't come up with a better word other than yuck. But you keep going through it, all these contact points. Look, that's the anodizing coming off. This is especially important with new guns. What I recommend with the new pistol is shoot 5 magazines, take it apart. The more practice you get with taking something apart, the better. 5 magazines, take it apart, and pay attention to these areas that are being worn down and clean them. The anodizing is going to come off, but eventually it will get to the point where it's not as important because the gun is now broken in. Okay, so on the back part of your slide, we now have 3 main contact points. These are all resets. So when your slide comes back, the slide knocks these pieces down, sending the hammer back, making it so that the gun is going to be ready to shoot again. That's how you get your semi-auto function. Once again here, clean it. Clean it here. These are resets. Your hammer, you can clean that too. Doesn't matter wherever I put this, because of the anodizing, dirt and grease is going to come off. So, now, paper towel, and pretty much just wipe everything off. Okay? Get it all nice and clean. Just always dirt and gook. I like white. Use paper towels because I know as I keep going, it gets to be less and less. As it gets to be less and less, I know that it's getting to be clean. Look at that. Anything I could take off is almost gone now. It's gone. Done. Still a little bit here and there, but whatever. But you can tell the difference from that to that. Q-tips right here. Contact area in the slide. Clean it out. Right here. Clean it out. The better you take care of it, the better. Another part in here. The raceway that this travels through. Clean it out. Sometimes I'll go through as many depending on what field I play at or if I'm at an op. Sometimes I don't even pull my pistol. Just keep cleaning till it all goes away. Okay? And honestly, all this stuff here is great practice if you're ever going to buy a real gun. Just keeps going. Same thing here. Just keep cleaning it out till it's all nice and clean. The side here. Hammer reset. Okay, that's it. You're good. Okay, so now after I've done that, this is what I use the silicone oil for. Just spray a little bit of silicone oil on there, a little bit here, okay, a little bit more here. You can see it running around here and here. Pull my hammer back, spray some in here. There. The good part is you see where it's running around? The Q-tip was clean, now it's not again. The oil will actually get in there and lift the really, really fine dirt out. Yeah, to some it may sound like overkill, but if you could see there, there's still more dirt to come off. Here's the problem with dirt and grease and worn off anodizing. It acts as sandpaper. The more you maintain your gun, the longer it's going to last. So it's really up to you. But once again, you see that? Now the oil shows where there's still more dirt that you couldn't have gotten or you didn't get before. Okay? So there's that. We're all good. Okay, so that was the first time I sprayed with silicone oil. Now, I'm going to spray oil a little bit in here for the hammer assembly. Okay? I'm going to spray a little bit here. But as you can see, it's actually just dripping out. So I'm just putting a little bit on here. On top of the slide, and now a little bit in here. Okay? These areas here I'm actually not spraying, it's just the residual oil from inside here. I'm not trying to goop it up and make it all soupy, for lack of a better term. Okay, then if I see that there's too much, I'll just wipe it down, kind of use the Q-tip, spread it around, and then that's it. Now I'm done with the trigger frame, and we're going to put that off to the side and go to the slide. Okay, so now we're on to the slide. And here's an interesting note. This here should not be separated. Once again, it's always a good idea to take care of and maintain your guns. This two-piece rod shouldn't be separated. It shouldn't be this far out. So, we're going to basically stop. We're going to come back to the slide while I screw all this back together so I can actually take this apart and not have you guys watch me for 15 minutes because something's separated that shouldn't have. Alright, so I changed my mind. You guys might have this happen with your KSC pistol. Okay, particularly 1911 or any other pistol. I can't get this out. Why? Because the rod is too long. Why? Because for some reason the rod started to unscrew. Alright, well, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to screw this in and keep going. It's kind of greasy. Basically, keep going. Let's see how this goes. Oh, look. I can hold this here, and now I'm going to turn this. Let's see here. Yep, this is difficult. This is annoying. This isn't fun. But what are you going to do? This rod being too far out from the slide is going to make it too difficult to get the slide return spring out. So it looks like we're pretty close. Oh, look, here's a nice little observation here. See that little hole? I bet you that's used for a tool to tighten this down. Okay? But let's see. All right, we're good. Looks like we're close. The whole thing's not spinning anymore. The bumper is spinning by itself. Now we're just going to take it apart, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so because of that goof up and that weird separation, we've got the pieces out. But now for a close-up. This is probably another tool mark in this here. I'm going to assume when these are manufactured, these 2 points are so that you can screw this thing together. So I'm actually going to separate this right now and clean it. Okay, so this is the piece that was separated. What I'm actually going to do is show you what I'm going to do to fix this. Everything I have here also you can get from your local Airsoft store or Home Depot or even a truck supply place. Alright? So we've got silicone oil, regular oil. Here's the part that I don't think they added in the manufacturing. Thread locker. Okay? Here's another important part with the thread locker. Use blue. Do not use red thread lock or Loctite on anything that you're ever going to want to remove. Okay? This here, I don't know if I'm ever going to want to remove it or not. So I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to use blue. So, seeing as it came loose, I'm going to separate it, clean it. Here, let me use a look. Yay, not fun. It's like cleaning it. We have rust. So that means there's going to be rust inside here. That might be why it actually started to come apart. So take your Q-tip, or I'm going to take Q-tip. Maybe you have a pipe cleaner, I don't know. Squeeze it around, pull it out. Yeah, we got rust. That's not good. So Maybe stretch this out a little. These Q-tips are being uncooperative, but whatever. Push it back in. I mean, it really depends on how much you want to do to clean it. Okay? The cool thing is because it's threaded, it's going to pull itself in. Now, back it out. Okay? This will also give you a good look at how much dirt, grime, or whatever else is in there. See that? That brown stuff, once again, is rust. But I think I'm doing okay, so I'm not going to do any more. Next part, blue Loctite. Not a big deal, just add a little. Okay, see that? I even think that's too much. Take your Q-tip or paper towel. Soak up the excess. You really just want it in between the threads. You're not trying to glob it on. It's not really glue. Okay? Push it in. And then these two pieces before that I mentioned, I'm pretty sure they're for tools. So, in goes tool 1. In goes tool 2. Tool 2 doesn't want to fit. Tighten it. That was horrible. So now that's there. Take this piece with the Loctite, put it aside, let it sit. If you're going to play it safe, let it sit for about 15-20 minutes. Alright, so now we're going to go over the slide. The return spring is out because we're fixing it. Remove this, 1911, pull it out. Once again, as we look at it, more wear and tear. Okay? All these points you need to put extra attention on for cleaning. And hope your paper towels don't fall apart in your hands. Right? Clean, clean, clean. All nice and happy. More contact areas. If you were to line this up with a pistol, you would see that these areas here and this area in here is what's hitting the reset points. This is your hammer reset right here. See this here? This smacks the hammer back to reset it. This groove here are more resets. Alright? This piece here, for those that don't know, this is your air nozzle. This is what transfers the gas behind the BB. Okay, so we're going to clean this up. Clean up the inside, outside, just kind of get in there and get wherever. If you watch and look, you'll see you'll never find a spot in here, honestly, that you won't get dirt from. But key points here, hopefully you can see this, here's the groove. Alright, this recess is what keeps the slide on track on its way to reset everything in the blowback cycle. So we're going to clean all this out in here with a Q-tip. Once again. And also, truthfully, just to let you guys know, I actually clean all my pistols when I come back from the field throughout the week. Okay, so as I'm cleaning this though, you'll see how much dirt and grime is coming out of here. Now I want you guys to know this is a very well maintained pistol. I clean all my pistols every weekend. If I take that pistol out to use it, I'm going to clean it. These pistols of mine get cleaned every week after I use them. So for those guys that go, oh, I don't use it, I never took it out of my holster, I've said the same thing. This is what you get. It doesn't matter. Oil is used to lubricate the gun. Oil attracts dirt and dust. The finishes, the anodizing, because you have 2 points meeting each other and rubbing against each other, it will always come off. Okay? So, real life example, it doesn't matter whether you take your pistol out of your holster or not, you will get dirt and grime. So, the more you maintain it, the better it's going to be. Less it's going to break. Okay? Once again, see the track? Q-tip. Get in there. This is the only thing that's going to get in there and clean that track. You know, I think I probably maybe fired while I was at one of my local fields during a game of Trouble in Terrorist Town. I think I shot maybe 1.5 magazines. Then we had a pistol game. both games were turnaround games, so that means I played 2 pistol games, so that means I shot basically 3, I'd say 2 magazines. So for the whole day, this is what I got, and I only shot 3 magazines at the most through this pistol that day. Okay? So that's how dirty things can get. The other reason why I'm bringing a lot of this up is I do get a lot of people that come in and say, oh, my pistol slide's not working, it's not cycling properly. This is what I do. Okay? I take a lot of time and care, and I literally go through it and try to get as much dirt, grime, anything that will cause that slide to slow down. And I just keep cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. Okay, well, now that I've cleaned my slide, one of the other things I check is my air nozzle. I want to make sure it moves freely. Okay, I'm use a Q-tip here so that you guys can actually see. I want it to move freely and snap back. Alright? That means I don't have a lot of dirt and grime in here. If I did, I would basically be removing the air nozzle and cleaning that out with a Q-tip. Okay? But it's doing pretty good. Seems like I don't really need to, and we'll go over a whole pistol maintenance video later when I have a little bit more time and I feel that I can get the best angles I need to show you guys everything that I do when I really want to get into a pistol. Okay? So now that I have that, these are the points where I put lubrication. I do take silicone spray right in here. Important that it's at an angle. Okay? You have a seal back here that you can't see. So I just boom. Little spray, take this, move it back and forth, okay? Just to get little extra lube in there on top of what you already get when you use green gas. Okay, this is not a plug, but this is just my opinion. I hate propane. Okay? I've not seen one person get the mixture between gas and propane correct. It's few and far between, and a lot of the guns I get in here where they need new O-rings in the back, or I need to replace the blowback seal, excessive wear and tear, things not lining up. Sorry, 9.5 of them are guys that use propane. They don't get the mixture right. So either get your mixture right or just use green gas. Why destroy a pistol? Okay. So the last part I'm going to lubricate on the slide is the channel. I'm just going to spray a little bit. Whoops. That's where it gets difficult. A little bit down the channel. Okay, I'm going to take what's left in the nozzle and just let it drip inside the channel. Okay? Let it run down. I'm going to wipe the excess with the Q-tip off the top. I only want the oil in the recess for the slide. Okay? So I clean off all that extra oil on the outside. I'm going to put a little bit more in here. A little bit of attention to where that is. Okay? As you can see, this area here has the most wear and tear next to this side on the slide. These are where your resets sit. A little bit up. It's a spray can, not an exact science. Just clean off the excess. It's really not that big of a deal. And believe it or not, because this oil, you're going to leave a coating of oil on there. Alright? So, okay, so now cleaning the barrel. It's the same as any other barrel. This is where I use the other oil. Take this oil, spin it up. I don't force it all the way through because of the lip on the bucking. Okay? Wow. Once again, I clean everything. But look at that. So I guess we're going to do it again. It's oil. I don't care if I make a mess. Oil's our friend. We're talking about metal. Getting better. Probably one more pass through and we'll be okay. Okay, so now that that part is done, here's another part that gets severely neglected. This piece here is what gives you your seal. Okay? When this seal goes bad, you lose velocity, you lose feet per second, your pistol's not going to shoot as well, it affects everything. This rubber bucking actually seals up against the air nozzle. If you don't maintain it and keep it clean, you're going to grind it down. That means it's no longer going to be smooth. If it's not smooth, gas, which is thinner than water, will leak out around it, and you're just going to have performance issues with your pistol. So, I take the Gold Cup oil. If you don't have Gold Cup oil, that's fine. You can use the silicone spray that just fell over, okay, because that's what happens, gravity. Anyways, a little bit on there, on this part here, and I just wipe it down. See, look, again, you can never clean things enough, okay? Just keep cleaning it. This one isn't that bad now, but there you go. This is rubber, okay? In the paintball world, because I do a lot of repairs on paintball guns, about 8 times out of 10, most of the time when guys bring in their guns and they're complaining about leaks, complaining about it not getting the best air efficiency, it is because they are not lubricating the gun. A dry O-ring will not seal or hold pressure. Okay? An oiled O-ring will. But guess what? This is the same thing. It may not look like an O-ring, but it's the same thing. So now we're good. We're all nice and clean. The only color changes from the oil. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up this mess here and put it back together. Make sure everything's all lined up. Our repaired part, not coming apart. Why isn't this going? Oh look, we're not in line. So let's just get it in line. And try not to get it to snap our fingers. Good. Slide. Got a little bit of excess oil here, but I'll wipe it off later. Put it in. We're moving real nice. Look at that. Easy squeezy. No grinding, no muss, no fuss. We're good.